We are interrupting our regular programming to cross now to Kinshasa, where Pope Francis has just begun to speak about the violence in DR Congo.
In your flesh. We could only cry in silence.
Des lieux que les médias internationaux ne mentionnent presque jamais. Ici et ailleurs, beaucoup de nos frères et sœurs.
Here and elsewhere, many of our brothers and sisters, the children of the same community, have been taken hostages by the rule of the strongest, by those who hold the strongest weapons in their hands, the arms that carry on circulating amongst the people. My heart goes out to this huge country which will find no peace until the arms are put down in its eastern part. To all of you, dear inhabitants of the east of the Kivu province, I feel close to you. Your suffering is my suffering. To every single family that has been displaced or has suffered the burning down of their houses, my heart goes out. Whereas we are treated as objects instead of humans, our Father in heaven says to each one of us, "You are valuable and I love you," each single one of you. Brothers and sisters, the Church will always support you. God loves you and hasn't forgotten about you. May all people remember you as well. It is in his name and on behalf of all victims that I can only wish for peace, justice, and fraternity to prevail, and I condemn injustices, massacres, rapes, and any kind of destruction and occupation of villages, the looting of camps which are still perpetrated in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And also, there's also the illegal exploitation of natural resources in the country in order to be able to manage them. It makes me irate to see that the violence and war that prevail and have hit so many people are fueled by outside forces, but also by forces from the inside, to be able to gain unlawful advantages therefrom. Now I call upon the Father above us, the Father in heaven, who wishes us all, brothers and sisters, the best, and I can only bow before him, and I apologize for all kinds of violence perpetrated by men to his brothers and sisters. Father, take pity on us, and please console the victims and convert the hearts of those who perpetrate these atrocities, and open the eyes of those who close their eyes and turn a blind eye to all of these abominations. These are conflicts that affect millions of people and force many of them to leave their homes and constitute violations of human rights. They also disintegrate the economic fabric and the socioeconomic situation. These are partisan fightings with ethnic differences and conflicts which have to do with land property, and in the case when the weakness of institutions cannot prevent them. Any kind of violences perpetrated, but also the war waged for wealth is something that is fueled on corruption. What a scandal. And what a hypocrisy. People are raped and killed when things and people that wage death and injustice continue to prosper. I would like to extend a vibrant call to all of the people and all of the institutions or entities inside or outside the country that have an impact on the situation in the DRC and that destabilize it. You build your richnesses on the sacrifices of the people of this country, on the shedding of their blood. Listen to the calling of God, calling you to conversion. Listen to your conscience. Put down the arms. Put an end to the war. There is no point in gaining richnesses by weakening the weakest ones when blood is being shed. Dear brothers and sisters, what can we do? Where should we start? What can we do to promote peace? Very humbly, I turn to you, and I would like to say the following. First of all, I would say 2 or twice no. No to violence. Unconditional no to violence. Loving one's people does not mean hating part of the people. Loving one's country means refusing to go down the way towards force and the use of force. This is a lie. Hatred and violence are unacceptable. All the more so for those who are Christian. Violence can never be accepted and is never justified. Hatred triggers more hatred, and violence generates more violence. So I say a resounding no to all of those who wish to perpetrate violence and hatred. Dear citizens of the Congo, do not listen to the call of those who incite you to hatred and violence. God is a God of peace and not a God of war. Calling to war is not an act for peace. It is eating at our hearts. Those who perpetrated violence will never live in peace. They think they might be saving their lives, but are spiraling into violence and fighting against their brothers and sisters with whom they have grown. In order to say no to violence, it's not sufficient just not to perpetrate violence, not to perpetrate violent acts, but I think we also need to say no to rage and to all of the feelings that fuel the acts. I'm thinking of all of the suffering endured by the people, and I would like to urge each one of you to act as you mentioned you did when you opened your hearts. I'm asking all of you in the name of God to forgive all of those who hurt them, like Christ did with those who nailed him on the cross. This does not mean you cannot denounce evil. This does not mean impunity. What can be requested in the name of peace and in the name of God is to remove the poison from the hearts of the people, to reject hatred, and to say no to anything that might seem to be like weakness, but something that allows freedom, because it paves the way for peace. A peace at heart, and a peace of a heart freed from rancor. Then there is a second no. Peace requires to fight discouragement and mistrust, because we might tend to believe that we need to stay away from all of our brothers and sisters and not trust anybody anymore and extend our hands to our brothers and sisters. So I can only encourage all of you not to lose faith and to work towards a better future. A better future will not just happen, it can be reached if all of us put their hearts into it. We mustn't be afraid of getting involved with others, and then and only then a different future will occur. It will be built by all and no by only a few of us. A better future will occur if all of the brothers and sisters, whether Hutu or Tutsi, can put their heart into building peace. And in the east of the province, peace is also possible. We have to put our hearts into change. We cannot build a future while focusing on our personal interests or on our group's interests or on our ethnic interests and clans. Jirani Nundugu means your neighbor is a brother. So, brothers and sisters, all of your neighbors are your brothers and your sisters. Whether from Rwanda, Uganda, or the Congo, we are all brothers and sisters because we're all the children of the same God. And this pertains to our faith. So let us turn and look up towards heaven, because all that every single one of you suffered needs to be turned into love and peace for the benefit of all. May the discouragement give place to a new faith and a new fight for peace. So let us yell out all together, never again, no more violence and no more resignation. Now let us turn to the two yeses. Yes to peace and yes to reconciliation. Dear friends, what you are about to do is wonderful. You are going to commit to forgiving your torturers, and you want to do so by praying all together around the cross, and you wish to put down all of the suffering you went through, and you want to lay down before the cross all of the arms. The cross is also an instrument of suffering and of death, especially at the time of Jesus, the Son of God. But it became the tree of life and the tree of reconciliation thereafter. So I would like to say, may you, each one of you, be a tree of life. Be like the trees. The trees absorb pollution and restitute oxygen. Or like the motto says, do like the palm tree does. With stones, they produce dates. So don't give hatred when you receive hatred. Go towards reconciliation through faith. There's this new idea of justice. And justice does not go only through punishment. The idea is to work towards reconciliation and to extinguish any form of hatred. Good is stronger than evil, and all of this is stronger than evil, because good transforms reality from within rather than from without. And this is the only way of going about it, like Jesus did on the cross. He transformed evil into love. Suffering is transformed into hope. My dear friends, forgiving your brothers opens a new door to a new kind of justice. Without forgetting that it allows us to step out of the vicious circle of violence. Reconciliation is turning towards the future and working towards peace rather than war. And it's stepping out of the prison of evil to turn towards others and share freedom altogether. And my last yes is the decisive one. It is a yes, and a resounding yes to hope. If we can picture reconciliation as a palm tree, well, hope would be the water that nurtures the tree. This hope has a source, and the source has a name that I will mention here before you, and the name is Jesus. With Jesus, we can overcome evil, and life is stronger than evil. With Jesus, who through his death has allowed humankind to resuscitate and take a new start, every single tomb can be transformed into the cradle of something new. With Jesus, hope is reborn. And for all of those who have suffered and those who have perpetrated it. Brothers and sisters from the east of the country, this hope is the hope that is meant for you. You are entitled to it, but it is also something you need to conquer. By sowing it day after day, you need to sow the seeds of hope. And to use a symbol of the palm tree, there's a proverb that says, when you eat the nut, you can see the palm tree, but the palm tree only exists because the seeds were sown. So in order to reap the fruits, you have to work with in mind the planters for future generations. You don't need immediate gratification. You need to sow the good and happiness, and you need to make every day an important day. This gives you the inspiration for the future and gives or makes us more similar to God. The sower of hope, the relentless sower of hope. And today, allow me to thank God and to bless all of the sowers of peace who are working in the country. I would like to bless all of the institutions and charitable organizations working in the country. I would like to thank and bless all of the brothers and sisters here working for the dignity of all. Some have lost their lives, like Ambassador Mukatanasio, Gendarme Victoria, Lavo, Lacavaggio, and the driver Mustafa Muzambo. They were assassinated. Dear brothers and sisters, children of the province of Ituri, and the North and the South Kivu, I am close to you. I embrace you, and I bless you all. I bless every single child, every single adult, and every single person that has suffered violence in the DRC. And in particular, every single woman and every single mother in the country. And I pray so that every single woman and mother is respected and valued. Perpetrating violence against a woman is perpetrating violence against God. May Jesus, our brother, and the God of reconciliation, who planted the tree of life in the middle of darkness, in the middle of sin and violence, may the God of hope who believes in you bless all of you. May he console you and sow the seeds of hope and peace in your hearts and in the whole Democratic Republic of Congo. Thank you.